there's a term that the strategic consulting team uses called playbooks. And this is really the foundation. Before you go do anything in the account, this is your planning phase, right? And this is when you go look at the catalog, the products that are available that you will be selling on a platform. And you break those out into their different product groupings, whether it's variants or different categories of products, different colors, whatever it is that makes the most sense from an advertising perspective, right? And then with each of those product groupings, you're also going to have keywords associated with them. And those fall into typical groupings of like branded, category, competitor, right? And that can be different for each one. And that's kind of like the bread and butter of that playbook, right? And from there, you can kind of build out what the campaign layout is going to look like. So I know I've kind of taken half of it. Like how do you follow up with a playbook? Why is it so essential? And what does it do for you long term?
I think it's phenomenal. It gives you such a phenomenal foundation, and also is a great way to just like talk to the client, because they know the products best, and you know the e-commerce ecosystem best. So being aligned on that, and also you may have certain products and you don't know like what people are searching or what's in the product, all of those details. So they can also help you build out that keyword list. But it's a phenomenal foundation that you can grow from there. For example, I think one great thing about Walmart with the new changes and the relevancy changes is you have so much more power to impact your organic ranking and grow your traffic and grow your share in different places, which was a little bit harder to do before those changes went into effect. So also think about, and aligning with the client on what they want to be serving on. Because, you may see like this is what people are searching for this type of term, but that may not align with where they want to take that product or how they really want to be categorized. So I think that foundation is great, and then you can continue to test and learn and expand on that. For example, if you have a category, but like one or two keywords are eating up majority of your budget, which happens a lot, like broader terms, whether it may be like t-shirts or like shorts, and maybe you break those, keywords out into its own campaign so that you can control exactly which SKUs show on it and control exactly how much budget you want to put behind those, how much you want to bid on that. So I mean that foundation is key, and then you can break out, test and learn from there. We've seen a lot of success with like having brand and category for each product grouping, like you say, but then also a general branding campaign is incredibly valuable for just those like tried and true terms that may not be product focused, and then you have the ability to swap out products that you want, because obviously those people most of the time already know your brand or may have seen an ad upper funnel somehow. So how do you introduce them to those new products or the products that you're really trying to grow?
I think it's super helpful. I think something to take away from this whole like the playbook conversation, the pre-launch conversation, is what Claire says about test and learn and being able to shift on a dime depending on what your goals are, because those change often, is having that playbook in place. That is the foundation. It should be table stakes. You should be doing that no matter what. This isn't just like something that's extra that you should do. This is nearly mandatory, because we call it the playbook because this is the place, this is the foundation, this is the place where everything is going to generate from. It's not necessarily strategy, but once you have the foundation in place, you can implement a strategy using this foundation and go any direction. And that's kind of the powerful piece of a playbook.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both of like our teams, because you can lay out, how many campaigns do you want, what products are in each campaign, what keywords do I want to bid on, how much do I want to bid, like what is the budget, so you have a bird's eye view of what your strategy looks like. And then it's also easy to implement. And then going back to tags, you can take a look at like what makes the most sense from a tag perspective, or I think that's also key, like your campaign setup. How does the client want to report out, like what's important to them? Because if you combine everything but they want to see a granular look from category 1 and category 2, then that's so much more work on your plate to try to deep dive that out later on.
Yeah.